Hey, we're getting ready to can some Chow Chow. Put some habaneros in part of this. Now the ingredients will be green tomatoes, cabbage, jalapenos, and for one batch of this, it'll be jalapenos and habaneros, and white onion. Now the brine will be made up of 1.5 cups of white vinegar, 1.5 cups of water, 1.25 cups of sugar, and I put about a tablespoon of kosher salt in it. Well, we got our tomatoes all diced up. Now we're going to dice up our cabbage. And we'll kind of speed it up again here. And for this first batch, I diced everything up with the knife. The rest of it, I got the old food processor out. Makes it much more easier. And we dice up 1 large onion to go into this mix. Move the pieces of the cabbage core out of the way. I got them thin slice. I like to eat them. They're the sweetest part of that cabbage. Now I've already added the water and the vinegar and the sugar and the salt into this brine mix. We're going to stir it. It's heating up. Make sure all that sugar and salt is dissolved. Now I'm going to remove the seeds from these jalapenos, and then we'll dice them up. And we'll put it in high speed to get through this and get these done. And I'll add the jalapeno peppers to it now, all diced up. We'll get this all going. It's going to simmer in here. Going to mix it up, let it simmer, and for about 10 minutes. Well, now I believe that 10 minutes went by pretty good, so it's time to start putting it in the jars. I've washed and cleaned these jars, and I even process them for 10 minutes in boiling water to sterilize them. They're going to be hot, and then this liquid's hot going in there. So anyways, we'll get this all jarred up and get it into the canner. And I take a paper towel with vinegar and wipe the rim off, and then set a lid on there and put the ring on it and finger tight. And I use a little red tool there to debubble these jars whenever I get them filled. I don't show it on there, but I do this. 1/2 to 1 inch headspace, and that works out real good. And again, you want to wipe the rim with some vinegar on a paper towel, and that'll clean that rim off and help it seal better. Okay, we're going to finish these jars and get them into the water bath. And now we're going to start on the jalapenos and habaneros mix. Now we're going to get the habaneros ready. We're going to cut the ends off, remove the seeds, and we'll be putting them in the food processor. Now in the stainless steel bowl is the cabbage we ran through the food processor, and these 6 jars are the ones we done earlier. They've been processed in the water bath, and now they're cooling. I'll put the recipe and how I made this in the description below. But by all means, always be sure, don't take my word for it, always be sure to check with the National Center for Home Food Preservation. I'll leave a link below and you can check these out. They got all the recommendations on how to can and the temperature and timing. Well, when you're canning, safety is #1 priority. That's the reason I tell everyone, don't take my word for it. Always check it out. That's what I do. I check out everybody's recipe with this site to make sure that I'm following their recommendations to keep food safe. Now we'll get all these jars filled up. Got about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch headspace again with this. And again, I use the food processor instead of dicing it by hand. Oh, that sure helps. Now we'll use our debubbler. That's what that little apparatus does. Just move it around in there. Make sure all the air pockets or bubbles come up. Wipe the rims and put on a clean lid and a ring. Fingers snug. Well, I'll finish filling these and we'll be back when we put them in the canner. Now we'll set them in the water bath canner and we'll get them all in there, and we're turning up the heat so it'll start boiling here pretty quickly. Okay, it was boiling and we went 10 minutes, shut off the heat, let them cool just a little bit. Now I'm going to take them out and put them on a towel over on the counter and let them cool for about 12 to 18 hours. Then we'll take the rings off and set them in the pantry. All of this Chow Chow turned out really delicious. Hey, we like to use it on our hot dogs and our beans and whatever. I tell you what, it don't last very long. Hey, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, I hope you consider subscribing.